on my wife. As you know, she left a few months ago. I helped her move out and everything, and I was okay with it. But coming back home, I'm having a hard time getting past the fact that she was okay with leaving, and like she was going to sneak out on me when I was gone.
The first part is that you don't trust her.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the lack of trust was born out of feeling betrayed.
I guess it just boils down to, trust.
No, the feelings, the emotions.
Hurt, shame, abandonment, from my childhood.
There it is. There you go. So you're hurt.
I'm struggling because, my mom abandoned me when I was a kid. And so now those feelings are coming up, that abandonment, that fear that is this what's going to happen to me again? And I know it stems from my childhood.
Todd, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Great. How you doing?
Wonderful.
Awesome, bro. Talk to me.
I'm just having some issues with resentment on my wife. As you know, she left a few months ago. I helped her move out and everything, and I was okay with it. But coming back home, I'm having a hard time getting past the fact that she was okay with leaving, and like she was going to sneak out on me when I was gone, and just happened to find out. And I helped her move out. It kind of shocked her, I guess. But how do I get past the resentment? Or should I go to my cabin for a weekend? And am I going to come back home and she's going to be gone again if stuff gets rough? I'm going through the vertical ladder and some of the box technique to try to get through that. So, I don't know what that looks like for us, but I know I need to work on that because that's going to be a big challenge for me.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So, first of all, it's a couple things. What you shared was two parts. The first part is that you don't trust her.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the lack of trust was born out of feeling betrayed.
Correct.
Yeah. So you felt betrayed. So obviously you lack the trust there, which is understandable. Right. Okay. Right. The second part is the resentment, right, which tells you that you're angry, you're struggling with forgiveness, but you're not really angry. Right?
I'm not angry. No, I'm not angry. I guess I would say I'm more disappointed, shocked, because I never thought that would happen.
No, it's not disappointment or shock. That's a part of it. What else do you think it is?
I guess it just boils down to, trust and
No, the feelings, the emotions.
Hurt, shame, abandonment, from my childhood.
There it is. There you go. So you're hurt.
I'm struggling because, my mom abandoned me when I was a kid. And so now those feelings are coming up, that abandonment, that fear that is this what's going to happen to me again? And I know it stems from my childhood issues.
But that doesn't negate the fact that they're two separate things.
Right. No, it's two separate things, but that's where I get those feelings. Right.
So you feel hurt.
Right.
The hurt reminds you, which we'll get to in a second, of something else.
Correct.
Right? And then your brain goes into a protective mode of don't trust as a way to do what? Stay safe.
Correct.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that you're just supposed to magically today trust your wife after something like that happening?
No.
No. So the real reality is a couple things. Number one, you got to give yourself time because respect is something that's earned, especially with somebody like you or I. You got to earn trust with us. Number two, the reason that it's difficult for you to live in the patience that's required and the perseverance that's required for you to build back this marriage without trust just being rock solid right out the gate is because it is triggering for you. So let's go into this. So what does it remind you of?
Abandoned as a child and having to pretty much fend for myself and shutting everybody out just to protect myself.
Okay, so let's look at the difference. Right. So you said being abandoned as a child and having to shut everybody out just to protect myself.
Correct.
What happened when your wife did what she did? Did you do that? Did you shut everybody else out just to protect yourself?
I kind of just withdrew from everybody, friends and everybody, just to get by myself and to make myself safe,
Yeah, let's look at a couple differences. Okay, the first difference is this. When you got abandoned as a child, it threatened your survival.
Correct.
It threatened your safety.
Yes.
What happened when you got abandoned as a child? Where did you end up? How did it jeopardize your safety?
My mother was verbally abusive, physically abusive, run away from home at 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, and hiding out in the mechanical closet to stay safe, and just because I was scared that I was going to be, hurt. But, that was my way of protecting myself from any harm coming to me.
If somebody abandons you today, can you make a choice to get away from it now?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, but let's look at a couple things. So, do you blame yourself for not being able to trust your wife?
I don't blame myself for that, no.
Okay, then why do you think it's a problem?
Just because of the trust. It's hard for me to, it's not, I don't think it's my fault that I can't trust her. It's her fault because she's the one that left, you know what I mean? And she was okay with that. That's the trust problem I'm having. That if you're okay with that, then how can I trust that you're not going to do that if times get tough again,
Right. Have you ever worked for somebody that you didn't trust?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had to work alongside somebody you didn't trust?
Yes.
Okay. Did that stop you from getting the job done?
No.
No. So what makes you think that to have the healthy marriage, you need to automatically trust your wife right out the gate and feel safe? You don't. But the problem is that your nervous system is extremely hypervigilant and on high alert, assuming that in the end, you're going to get hurt again.
Correct.
But this time, the difference is that you can protect yourself, you can fend for yourself, and you can move forward because you can take care of yourself. You're not dependent upon your wife.
No, not at all.
So your brain, though, doesn't know the difference because it's cataloged that trauma. So it's trying to protect you from the potential pain of isolation, being alone, and that turning into more and more and more pain. Let me ask you this. Since joining the program, going through everything you've gone through, overcoming all this adversity, facing all these childhood wounds, do you have the skills and the community and the support that if your wife left and did this again or chose to do this, you'd be able to make it through it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would your response be different than it was when you were 8 years old hiding in that mechanical closet?
Absolutely.
Then what does that tell you?
That I can get through it. I'm okay, to get through that because I know it's in my head. It's just
No, it's not in your head though, brother. Like, listen, there's no reason why you should trust your wife right now.
Right.
You have every right to not trust your wife right now. And you should not be in a rush to trying to trust your wife right now because trust has to be built and you have to be okay with the patience and the long road for you to do that. And what you're thinking in your mind is that you can't be in this place and tolerate it and that you're in an unsafe place, which to some degree is true, but not in the same way that your brain remembers it.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not ready for her to come back anyways, and I guess I'm probably just kind of jumping the gun, but she's talking about, she wants to come back, and I'm just like, well, okay, but I'm still, like I said, I'm trying to explain to her, I'm like, listen, I got to work through this because there's a little resentment there.
The difference is now, brother, is you have the choice about who
Correct.
to trust, and you have a choice about when you want to trust them. And what
Right.
I'm picking up from you is that you want to work through this. This is not a situation where you're talking to me saying, yeah, man, I'm resentful and that's my problem. No, that's not your problem. The problem is that you're having a hard time living in the unknown and building back trust with someone that's betrayed you because it's something in your life that you've actually never done.
Right.
You've never once in your life had to build back trust with someone that's betrayed you and hurt you in this way. What you've done before is cut them off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you think about that, what is that opportunity for you to learn how to build back trust with this woman? What does that do for you, even if it works out or not?
Well, it makes me a stronger person. I mean,
There you go.
Yeah.
How is it happening for you? How does it make you a stronger person?
Because I don't need her to be happy. I don't need to have her in my life to be happy. If we don't get back together, or I'm okay with that. I'm happy. I can still be happy. I don't have to have her in my life to be happy.
And you know what's happening? You're not reminding yourself of that. You're not telling yourself that. Because when you were at your strongest, that's where you were mentally.
Right.
And let me ask you this. Have you told her that you don't trust her?
I haven't told her that I don't trust her. I told her that I have resentment and that
You need to
I'm
tell
gonna
her.
and that we're going on vacation for 4 days and we're gonna have a couple good talks while we're there. So
Yeah. And she needs to know,
right.
based on your childhood and your experiences, how very real that is for you. And if she can't see that,
Right.
and if she can't empathize with that, and if she can't understand that,
Right.
then that to me is a clear indication of how supportive and how much she actually cares about you to begin with.
Right. Yeah, if she can't support me in that, then then I'm not going to be able to. Because again, like I'm going to sit down and be vulnerable and share all this stuff with her, And I told her I need to feel comfortable and knowing that I can share this with you, that I can be vulnerable with you, because I don't. And so she said she's okay with it, And so, like I said, we're going to Florida for 4 days. She doesn't know what my plans are, but those are my plans. I just want to cut out maybe just an hour or so just to sit down and have a couple conversations, while we're there. So,
I love that. And let me ask you this. If your wife had a father wound and her father abandoned her and you had, let's say, tried to sneak out of the marriage and commit infidelity in some way, shape, or form, and your wife was feeling like she didn't trust you and wanted to come to you and talk about how her lack of trust and the feeling of betrayal was connected to her father wound, and she talked to you about that, what do you think would be the right way to respond to that?
Well, then I understand. I can sympathize with how she feels.
How would you have to feel about her to say that?
I have to love her, care about her.
Yeah, exactly.
Show empathy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you didn't give her that, and if you didn't listen and you shut it down, what would that demonstrate?
That I don't care about her. Yeah.
In other words, that you don't really care, you don't want to hear it, and that you don't have time for it, and that it's not really a concern of yours.
Right.
Which, to me, that tells you everything you need to know about that marriage.
Right.
or at least how she feels about you inside that marriage.
And I know she's got some trauma with her childhood too, and I know in the past I've dismissed it. She's I'm depressed, and I've dismissed her depression, not asking her why she was depressed, and so and I've shared that with her. I'm like, listen, I want you to feel comfortable to be vulnerable with me too, because I know you went through some trauma as well. So we both kind of build that trust as far as being vulnerable with each other. But like I said, the thing with the trust with me is that she left, and that was and I helped her move, but it bothered me that she was okay with that, and so that's the trust issue there. But I still love her and I care about her.
Yeah. So what's your plan of action? What's your course of action? Have this conversation with her, bring it up to her, see how she responds, and then be able to differentiate the past from the present moment, and to know no matter what happens, that your life is not dependent on another person, that God has your back. He's going to take care of you. Doesn't mean
Absolutely.
It doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean I'm not going to possibly get hurt again. It doesn't mean any of that. But this time it means that the response is different, and then I can show up for me in the way that somebody, another man, didn't show up for me in my childhood. And I can show up for me now for my inner child, myself, in the way that I couldn't prior. I can be that man that I always needed in my life regardless, and that God has me, that I have a community, I have tools, and that I can overcome this, and that it gives me a great opportunity to rebuild trust with somebody else once trust has been fractured, to teach me how to be stronger, to not have my guard up so much, to know that I'm okay no matter that even if I do let it down, to not be naive, not rush the process, and to take it one day at a time.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's why I plan on I've been practicing my sandbox technique. So when I have these conversations, and so I have to set those boundaries up with her too. And and I've expressed that to her. I'm like, listen, if we decide to get back together and everything, to go forward here, I have boundaries, and I have boundaries. I have needs, and I'm going to write all these down, and I want her to do the same, like you just suggested before. Just pick 5 needs, write them down. And I said, I'm going to pick 5 and I'm going to write them down, and I'm going to give you mine, you give me yours, and then we'll work on those, but I don't want, I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want her make her feel uncomfortable. I have to set boundaries.
You know what I'm hearing from you right now?
What's that?
I'm hearing your strength, man.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm hearing from you is that for the first time, it's like you're doing something, you're growing, you're thriving, you're feeling confident. And there's just that little bit of kind of second guessing coming in, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I okay? And right. God, you're solid, and
that's why I'm doing the box technique. I'm just trying to get through that, because I know I can do it. You get nervous, because I've never had these hard conversations with my wife, and now that I'm able to, I just need to do it. So like I said, it's uncomfortable for me and I'm a little anxious, but they need to be done. So for both of us, to have a healthy relationship going forward, if I don't set these boundaries now, then what am I going back into? Am I going back into the same chaos that I was in before, the same, dismissive, not having conversations with each other? And that's not what I want. That's not what I want.
No.
Yeah.
No. Todd.
Yeah.
Epic.
Thank you.
Epic.
I really can't. I couldn't do it without this program, because this is giving me all the right tools and it's put me in the right headspace.
Yeah, I got a good exercise for you too. I just dropped it. It's inside the tools.
Okay.
It's a trauma healing exercise. It's a writing assignment. Go and complete that one, because that one will bring you back. It'll ground you again.
Okay.
And then let's follow up after you complete it. Send it to me.
Okay, I can do that.
Awesome, bro. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate all your help. This program's awesome. I don't know
Anytime,
what I would have
brother.
done without it, really.
Anytime, brother. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Love and respect, bro. We'll talk soon.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.